Hello everyone, my name is Ankur Sharma. I've completed my graduation in mechanical engineering in the year 2013. Since then, I'd been working as a teacher. I used to teach class 11th and 12th students physics. Recently, I got selected in SBI PO 2018, and I wish in the coming future I'll be a successful banker. My journey started with SBI PO 2017. Back then, one of my friend got selected in IBPS PO 2016. He got allotted the Bank of India. So after seeing his success, I felt like if he can, I can also. So that is how my journey started. My journey of preparing for the bank exam started. Uh, but I wasn't very serious back then. I took it very casually. I thought, क्या ही है, means it's just maths, reasoning, and English. So maybe हो जाएगा manage. But then when the result came, to my surprise, I got only 32 marks and failed by a great margin. So that was an eye opener to me, and I said to myself, अंकुर यार मतलब ऐसे तो नहीं हो पाएगा. Means आज uh, if at all you look at the level of competition today, means even you will not go with the numbers, means 10 some 10 12 like students filling the forms, but at least if at all you speak, there are at least 10 students per seat who are preparing very seriously on, and in order to beat that particular lot, you need to be on your toes, you need to be very serious. So I started getting serious and started preparing for IBPS PO 2017 then, and with that particular preparation I somehow managed to clear the IBPS PO prelims exam, but again I failed in the mains exam. So thereafter I started means introspecting what went wrong, where did I lag, because see, what I was doing, I was already having a day job. I used to work for 10-12 hours in a day, and then with whatever energy and whatever time I had, I used to prepare, means I could not give more, means I could not expect more from me, means because the limitations that I had, I was not able to spend more time. So I need to do whatever best I can. I need to do it in those 4 5 hours. So I felt like there is something is needed to change. So I opted for this SBI PO 2018 paid program by Meritshine, because I had already, while I was preparing for IBS PO 2017, I had already gone through their free playlist that is there in the YouTube. So I found the channel very useful, and I found the mentors there very very precise, means they'll speak strictly about the syllabus, they'll speak no nuisance. So I found them very relevant, and apart from that being relevant, the content was very good, means that was up to the mark, means I believe that I could clear the prelims. Was the help was there from the managed chain SBI PO 2017 playlist. But then I thought, if at all I need to get selected, I should invest a little bit more, and a little bit more of time, little bit more of energy, because today everyone is doing hard work, but the proper direction, if at all it is there, then I think one can sail through. So it's like 80% it's your hard work, and 20% is the streamline or the direction in which you are doing hard work. If at all you are doing hard work in a wrong manner, so you will end up doing nothing. So I felt that 20% was missing, so I thought of joining this particular program, so that there will be a set format. To be very frank, the first and the foremost thing that Abhishek sir told is that if at all prelims is manageable. All of us know that prelims and mains exams are two different things, and one can sail through the prelims exam with a hard work of a month or two. Means even if you do not know quant much, you can sail through the prelims exam just by solving some simplification approximation questions, some quadratic equations, number series questions. The reasoning sections comprises of two things, that is the miscellaneous one and the puzzles one. So if even in the puzzles one, there are some four sets of puzzles that are coming nowadays in the prelims exam. So at least two are manageable, they are comparatively easy. and the miscellaneous questions, I think one can manage within 10 minutes. One can manage some 10 12 marks very easily. So I think prelims is manageable. Means one with if at all there is a serious candidate and he's working seriously, even in a month or two he can sail through the prelims. But to get through the mains, as Abhishek sir used to say, that you need to have a command on one subject where you can score heavily, and in the rest subject you can, even if you are getting average marks, you will sail through the exam. So for that, he advised me to pen down the things, like what are my challenges, what are my strong points, and start working on my strong points, and somehow cope up on my weak points. So I did the same. Started with the quant section. The basic problem that I had in the quant section was the lack of interest. Means right through my childhood, means most of you will agree to this particular fact, that right through our childhood, people used to, means our teachers, our seniors, our parents, everyone used to say that practice is the key. You need to practice, and by practicing only you will get the concepts very clear. But since I was not having the interest, means I knew the fact that if at all there is a topic, I need to master it, I need to practice it, but I was never having interest. So that particular thing I got by seeing the way he teaches, the way he approaches quant. Means if at all if some of you have already seen that SBI PO 2017 playlist, the way he deals with quant, both Abhishek sir and Samir sir, a particular question is there. So there is some sense in that particular. If at all you'll apply some sense rather than just doing the donkey work around, you will get the results. And by seeing the way they approach a particular question, that interested me. So the thing that I used to feel very bored while solving those n number of questions, I started getting interested. So that helped me a lot. Specifically speaking, if at all I'll say, one thing about the quant section was, if at all you will see that digit sum rule, digit sum thing. So if at all you will see that digit sum, I'd never heard about it. So after seeing, okay, this is also the case, then he would explain the logic behind also, how it's working. So that interested. Once I got interest in it, I felt like practicing, and once I practiced, I felt comfortable doing that particular subject. Coming to the reasoning section, I would say Meritshine took care of almost every difficult aspect of the puzzles. Some puzzles which were very difficult, means they used to ask us to even try the cat level puzzles, so that you'll get used to it. Even if something unusual comes in the exam, you'll be prepared. So that was one thing. That I think was very important. Means the scenario today, if at all you will say, we cannot predict the paper what is coming. So if at all you are preparing at a higher level, if at all you are preparing questions, if at all you are facing new questions daily, so you'll feel comfortable. If at all something new comes in the exam, you will not get surprised. So that was one thing that was taken care very well. So I felt that was very helpful. Plus another challenge that I had was in the critical reasoning thing. Means I used to practice critical reasoning through the web. Means I used to apply a particular concept, and in a particular question, that particular question used to come correct. The same concept I'll apply again in another question, I would get it wrong. So I was very confused. I felt what it is means. So but the classes of Ratnaba sir that he took on critical reasoning, there were some 5-6 classes that we had over critical reasoning, and plus there was some practice session after the classes. So that those made me comfortable, and after going through those sessions, I even attempted that GMAT club critical reasoning questions. So I used to score good in that. So that brought confidence in me, and somehow I felt even if in the mains exam two sets of puzzles would come, and I might not be able to manage those puzzles, I'll be having something in the paper which will fetch me marks. So that I think was very helpful. Apart from this, a major aspect of the clearing mains is the GK part. Means GK nowadays it is very variable. Means you cannot be sure about what will come in the exam. Means you cannot say whether it last 3 months is sufficient, last 6 months is sufficient. But then in that GK section too, there is a thing called banking awareness. I mean, a lot many questions from the static banking comes. So one limitation or the one challenge that I had always was that I was never comfortable cramming things. Means if at all there is even history was good, but history, if at all it was taught in the form of stories, then I was comfortable doing that. But learning facts was not my cup of tea. So I never felt like cramming the things. But then this there's this beautiful playlist of done by Samir sir on the YouTube, and it's free of cost. And in that particular playlist, he had explained the whole of banking, whole of finance, and he started with explaining how money started. So that was very interesting. Once we get to know the things, means terminologies in a story manner, it feels comfortable. Means it feels easy to cram those things. So that is how I built. And specifically speaking, for the GK section, what I did, one is that there were this daily quizzes and daily GK that was coming on Adda. So I used to I went through the daily GK, and I had given those daily GK quizzes, but I didn't did it regularly, right? But I did those things in the last 2 weeks. So I would suggest, if at all, to the aspirants who will be giving the exams in the coming future, GK you should start at least after giving the prelims. You should start doing GK. You should not wait. Means I still believe if at all I would have done, I would have scored even more. But it can be managed in 10-12 days. But if at all you'll put in more hours, and I'm sure you will be able to crack that particular thing. The next aspect of this means next hurdle of this means is the descriptive writing. So if at all I'll speak about the descriptive writing, I think that comes naturally. Means one cannot start writing a good essay if at all he'll start today. So that comes with practice. But still I would say whatever you'll write today, 10 days later, if at all you'll continue practicing doing that, you'll be writing in a better manner. There is this playlist available for free on the YouTube again of this Meritshine. I think if at all you'll glance through it, you'll be able to not only get a good content, not good content from a vast number of topics, but also you'll be able to streamline those topics in a structured manner. So by watching those and practicing a bit, I think one can manage to score at least, if not very heavy, but at least a decent mark in that particular descriptive writing. After the means, there comes this hurdle of the interview, which most of us take very lightly, I would say. To be very frank, I think it is the game changer. Especially in SBI, it is the game changer. Means if at all going by the marks, you will see the 250 marks are getting converted to 75, and the 50 marks are getting that 50 marks are getting converted to 25. So means if at all you are scoring 1 mark in your interview GDPI round, 0.5 will be counted to your final result. Whereas if at all you're scoring 1 mark in your written and descriptive everything, you'll be getting 0.3 marks. So I think if at all one is scoring, even one is able to somehow clear the cutoff in the main section, and he's able to score heavily in the interview section, he's having better chances than the one who will be having somewhat better score in the mains and average score in interview. So that 0.2 marks matters a lot. What I did, I made a group. I made a group of 4 or 5 serious aspirants, and we started preparing for group discussion and personal interview on the Skype. So daily in the night we used to we used to get online on the Skype. We used to make a call, and we used to decide a topic at one topic was pre-decided and one topic was taken randomly. So we used to have a discussion on it, and then we used to give reviews to each and everyone, that this was your strong point, this was your weak point, this is one area where you must improve. So this is how we used to give constructive feedback to each other. And I'm very thankful to our mentors, Ratnaba sir and Abhishek sir, because even I joined the paid program, but in that particular paid program, it wasn't keep okay, means we'll be helping you, you'll call us on Skype, and we'll come around. So even while I was requesting them to, sir, if at all you can come for an hour or two, and just see our preparations, if at all just give your feedback on how we are doing and what needs to be done. So but to my surprise, they didn't refuse. They said, okay, कब करना है, चलो करते हैं. So this is how it started. And one day we got Ratnaba sir and to guide us, and another day we got Abhishek sir to guide us. So in those 2 sessions, they were very specific questions, and we could speak our heart out, means whatever the problems, means we were practicing for 10-15 days, and after that we were having some series of doubts, means in most of the doubts we are getting cleared amongst ourselves, but the doubts which were there, like if at all this situation comes in the interview where he would ask a practical question, how should be our attitude, how should we approach that particular question, should we start speaking. So this is how they guided us. Specifically for this GE exercise was there, and group exercise I'd never done all throughout my life. I'd never heard of it also. So that was particularly new. So they guided us very well in that particular exercise. And I think overall, at the last, I would only say, means most of us believe that there are few kinds of students who will get through this exam, means some of us even feel dejected at times after, very down. We feel ourselves very down, means we try to hide from everything, we try to quit after getting a failure. But I think if at all that this is the only advice I could give, because I had seen failures, and I had my own challenges. But today somehow I had that success also. So if at all I would see, the crux is you should not treat failure as failure. What you should have is you should have a particular mentor with you, and you should continuously keep on discussing the things, means even if it is a failure, what you should do, you should go and speak to your mentor, because he knows more than you, he's more experienced than you, and take positive feedback from him and start improving. Because there are many people who speak about luck, but I feel that when hard work meets success, that is what luck. So do not leave anything on luck. And I wish all of you, all those who are watching this, I wish all of you best of luck for your coming endeavors. May God be with you. Thank you very much.